We are entering the old town of Krakow.
Krakow is one of the major cities in Poland and it is considered as the most beautiful in the whole country. It is renowned for its charming old town, which is inscribed in the UNESCO World Heritage List. And one of the best ways to explore this old town is by joining a free walking tour, like what we're gonna do today.
So this gate is important for Krakow because this is sort of the only gate that remains until today.
There are multiple free walking tour operators that you can choose from, but whichever one you choose, you will definitely be able to learn a lot about this historical city. Let's cut to the chase and we're gonna show you the beautiful places that we visited in the old town of Krakow with this free walking tour.
Now I'm in the middle of the main square in Krakow. And actually, this main square used to be the biggest main square in Europe.
You'll be able to hear many interesting information from the guides. What's more, they'll also share many useful practical information, like this one.
I'm now in front of St. Mary Basilica in Krakow. And basically there are two ways to enter this church. The first one is to enter as a tourist, in which you have to pay 10 zloty, but that will grant you access for taking pictures and also to roam a bit more. And the other ways is to enter as a prayer, which means that you can enter for free, but it's intended for those who are coming for praying. But you can always just come and sit, meditate, praying, or even just quietly admiring the architecture. Well, whichever way you decide to come, make sure that you don't miss out this place. You have to really visit and come into this church. It's impressive.
$800 years has passed through this hall. Beautiful.
Get the knife. It serves as a reminder for people coming here that if you commit crime, your ears will be cut off. So beware.
So theoretically, well, not theoretically, you have 2 ears. So you have 2 chances to do crimes, and the third one will be your hat when you don't have ears anymore.
This market hall is located right in the middle of the old town square, and it is actually one of the most popular places to shop for souvenirs. This church in the middle of the old town square in Krakow is actually the oldest church in the city. It's around 1000 years old, and as you can see, the main entrance of the church is sort of underground, but back in the days this church was actually built on a hill, and that's because back in the days when people walk in the old town, they just like throw away their rubbish, their crap, their junk on the street everywhere. So after a while, when the street became too dirty, they just added new ground on top of the old town square, and then as a result, after hundreds of years, the ground level started to increase and the buildings around it started to become swallowed, sort of, but now it's just becoming underground like this. And also in the buildings around, there's actually almost always a basement, which was actually the ground level in the old days. Alright, enough playing in the old town square. Let's move on to the other parts of the old town.
This is the first university building in Poland, and the second in Central Europe.
What's so nice about Krakow is that the whole of Old Town is so beautifully preserved. And unlike Warsaw, which was completely destroyed by the Nazi, the Old Town of Krakow was spared by the Germans.
If you look closer to this church, the front part is really luxurious, right? It looks like Italian style, it's beautiful. But the thing doesn't continue because at the back, they decided to use brick because brick was cheaper. So you get a luxurious front and brick at the back.
This is one of the must-visit churches in the old town of Krakow. And what makes this church unique is that actually you can visit the crypt underneath the church. Here laid to rest some of the most important people in the history of Poland.
Do you see a lot of names on the wall? That's because during the renovation of the castle, if the man or the person managed to donate 1 day wage, their name can be put here as a memory. But it's not only from Poland actually, it's from all over the world. This is Vapo Royal Castle Complex.
This is a wonderful place at the edge of the old town, and the free walking tour will also bring you there.
If you see the cathedral behind me, just right there, you can see that this cathedral doesn't really have a style. It's because in the old days, whenever they have a new ruler in the city, its ruler want to add their own style. So if you see, it's like a mix, right? There is a Gothic style, things with gold, and some other stuff. So it's really like a mix of architecture. We are now in the middle of Pavel Castle courtyard, and if you see, the architecture is really interesting because it has this Italian style but adapted to Polish climate, such as the steep roof. It's designed steep so that the snow and the water from the rain can fall down easily.
Last but not least, let's try the local delicacy.
So we've just bought the obersanki, which is typical to Krakow. And actually, this is protected by law that obersanki can only be made in Krakow. So when you're here, try this, and actually you can find this stall pretty much everywhere. So that was our day trip in Krakow. It's a really nice city, a really nice old city as well. It's big and it's the most beautiful in Poland. It's also rich of history and plenty of beautiful buildings. So if you're in Poland, make sure you go to Krakow, and don't forget to follow our journey and keep watching our video, and don't forget to subscribe.